Hello, and in this video we're going to look at the part 1 topic of weather. These are the kinds of questions that you might get asked for this topic. I've included a lot of questions in this video. The answers are quite short. You will only get asked 2 to 3 questions per part 1 topic, but there's lots of useful language in the video that might help you with other topics, because you could talk about weather when describing your hometown, the place you live at the moment, talking about a place in part 2, so it's quite useful to know language about weather. Let's take a look. Changeable. We often talk about changeable weather, and this means weather that changes a lot. So you get sun, and then you get rain, or rain, then sun, so the weather changes. Changeable weather. Boiling hot, when it's very, very hot. It's boiling hot. It's pouring down. We use this to say it's raining. And when it's raining heavily, so it's raining a lot. It's raining heavily is also a good collocation. It's pouring down. It's raining heavily. What's the weather usually like in your hometown? Quite changeable. 1 minute it's boiling hot, and the next it's pouring down. Definitely. Remember to use words like definitely, absolutely, when you're going to say a strong yes about something. Definitely dry weather. I can't stand plus verb plus ing. I can't stand being all hot and sweaty. Really good way to say I hate. I can't stand. Sweaty. You smell of sweat. The water that appears on your body when you're hot or you do exercise we call sweat. And the adjective to describe this is sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Bright. This means it's sunny. Doesn't always mean it's hot. It can be sunny without heat, but it does mean it's sunny. Bright. Mild. If it's mild, it's not too hot and not too cold. In the UK, in spring, it's often mild. So it's bright, but it's not too hot and not too cold. Mild. You know the verb prefer, but you can also say my preference. The one you prefer. My preference. What is your favourite type of weather? Definitely dry weather, but not too hot. I can't stand being all hot and sweaty, so a bright but mild day is my preference. When you get asked a do you like question, you can answer it with not especially. And it means no, but it's not a really strong no. Not especially. Extreme. We talk about extreme weather when it's very, very cold or very, very hot. Extreme. Scorching. If it's scorching, it's very, very hot. Scorching. And freezing is when it's very, very cold. Freezing. Do you like the weather in your hometown? Not especially, because it is always too extreme. It's either scorching or freezing. I much prefer. So instead of just saying I prefer, I much prefer. And you can make it much stronger. I much prefer. I'm not a fan of. I don't like. Overly hot. If it's overly hot, it's too hot. Overly hot. Do you like hot and dry weather? I much prefer dry weather to wet, but I'm not a fan of overly hot weather. A great phrase here, a sun worshipper. If you're a sun worshipper, you're a person who loves the sun, you like to lie out in the sun and get a suntan, a sun worshipper. Remember to use I tend to, and it means usually. I tend to stay. I usually stay. In the shade. This is out of the sun, so usually under a tree, under an umbrella, in the shade. What do you do in hot weather? I'm not a sun worshipper, so I tend to stay inside if possible. If I have to be outside, I stay in the shade. Tricky, a great word for speaking. Difficult. Tricky. I'm not keen on, I don't like. I'm not keen on. Icy is when it's very, very cold. Maybe it's been snowing. It looks like it's going to snow. Icy. The rain has turned to ice. Icy. Freezing. Very cold. I don't cope well. This means I don't handle it. I don't deal with it successfully. I find it very difficult. I don't cope well. Do you prefer hot or cold weather? That's tricky because I'm not keen on icy or freezing weather, but I don't cope well in hot weather either. A mild spring day is perfect. To rain heavily, to rain a lot, to pour down. It's raining heavily. A nuisance, a great word for both writing and speaking. Something that's annoying. A nuisance. Do you like wet weather? If I am staying at home, then I love it when it's raining heavily. I love the sound of the rain. If I'm going out, it's a nuisance though. Really useful for both speaking and writing when there are two things. So the question is, do you prefer wet or dry? Wet is the former. Dry is the latter. The former, the latter. The first thing, the last thing. Definitely the latter. So I mean dry weather. The latter. Heavy rain, so we say to rain heavily, and heavy rain. When it's raining hard, heavy rain. The window pane is the glass in the window. Window pane. If something is soothing, it's very calming, it's very relaxing. Soothing. Do you prefer wet or dry weather? Definitely the latter, unless I'm staying at home. The sound of heavy rain on the window pane is quite soothing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Remember to use these when you're answering a yes or no question. Oh yes, absolutely. To chill. A great verb for IELTS speaking. I am certain that you can use it at some point during the IELTS speaking test. When you're talking about relaxing, I can chill by the pool. To relax. And another great phrase that you will be able to use during the test. Our lives are so stressful now. We're all working and studying so hard that we need to stop and recharge our batteries. To get some energy again, to recharge your batteries. So I can chill by the pool and recharge my batteries. Try to use both of those during the IELTS speaking test. Would you like to visit a hot country? Oh yes, absolutely. If I'm going on holiday, then I prefer to be in a hot place so I can chill by the pool and recharge my batteries. Let's do the quiz now and see what you can remember. What do we call an annoying thing? A nuisance. A nuisance. What is another way of saying the glass in the window? It's the window pane. The window pane. How can we say out of the sun? So on a hot day, I prefer to be in the shade. In the shade. How can we say I can relax by the pool. Chill. I can chill by the pool. How can we say weather that is very, very cold or very, very hot? Extreme. Extreme. If you don't have extreme weather in your hometown, you can always say, we don't have extreme weather. What can we call weather that changes a lot? For example, rain, then sun. Changeable. Changeable. How can we say it's raining heavily? It's raining heavily is also a good collocation. Or it's pouring down. It's pouring down. How can we say to regain energy? To recharge my batteries. To recharge my batteries. How can we say the first thing, the last thing? The former, the latter. So if you get a question, which one do you prefer? The former or the latter? It's very, very useful. And finally, how can we say not too hot and not too cold? This is my favourite kind of day. We get them in the spring and in the autumn in the UK. Mild. Mild.